So this first question, I think threw a lot of people, was this one of the ones you said thought was pretty funny? Or you use Google for it. I know what, guys, what do we know about high pressure systems? Which way do they go? First of all, high pressure goes clockwise and low pressure goes counterclockwise because the clock is high on the wall, the counter is low. So right off the bat, I'm looking at this letter A. That's not right because that one's going counterclockwise. Same with D, going counterclockwise. Now these two, the circles are both going the correct way. What's the difference? Why is C the correct answer? Wind always blows from high pressure to low pressure. Yeah. No way, Zach. You had it circled like that? You didn't just try to fool me? No, there's no reason. I'm just kidding. All right, I'll add 3.6 points to your grade. See, actually, I think it's 3.4, so I think you'll end up with a 89. So yeah, the answer is C here because it is going clockwise around the high, counter around the low, out of the high into the low. So do you think maybe Google only, you kind of looked at the picture on Google and saw which way the circles were going, but
It wasn't a sticker, it's just, I literally looked at which direction the purpose.
so you got the clockwise part and stuff? No.
This is a highway counterclockwise.
Oh, yeah, definitely not true. Yeah, anybody can make a Google search. Maybe if you prove that to me, I'd like to see that. So how about number 2? Does anybody need me to go over that one? No, Alex says no. It is, oh yeah, it's the same thing. Did you get this one right? No, you got it wrong too. Okay, yeah, it is clockwise because we're going around the high pressure, so clockwise and out, letter B. Warm dry for this one is CT. And when you do the dry bulb of 29 and a difference of 6, remember, we don't care about the 23 part. You should have got a humidity of 60%. And again, here we go towards regions of low pressure for wind, C. And number 6 is A. Any of those we should go over. Which one did you not understand? I just heard you say it. 8, you said? Okay. So first with 7, which one is between Buffalo and Detroit? I don't think anybody got that confused. This is a cold pressure. So this one, which cross section represents the fronts and air movements in the lower atmosphere along the line X to Y? And can I'm sorry to do this, point out that we did questions just like this. And maybe we didn't actually answer any questions about them, but the notes here on page 39 were what went with this. And the key that I told you have to remember is that warm air never sinks. Warm air always rises. So as we go from Chicago, what temperature is it here over in Chicago? Is it warm or cold back here? How do you know it's cold back here? There's no temperatures written there. Because there's a cold front and the cold front's going this way. So that means it's already been over Chicago, so Chicago's cold. Now, what about the Buffalo area? Are we going to be warm or cold in this situation right now in this picture? Yeah, we are going to be warm. Again, because the cold front's coming to Buffalo, means we haven't been hit by the cold yet. And this warm front has just passed over it. So Buffalo will be warm. Right there, I am able to, just by doing that much, I'm able to get rid of 2 answers. I can get rid of B, and I can get rid of D. Why? Okay, so see how these arrows are going down? Remember, Buffalo should be warm. Warm air does not ever go down. These two are out. So these both have the warm air going up. What is the problem with A? Why is A wrong? The wind's going the wrong way. So remember, these always point which way the wind is going. So it's going from Chicago to Buffalo and Buffalo over here to letter Y. So this one has the wind blowing from Y towards Buffalo this way, and that is not correct. So we needed all the wind blowing away. So that's answer C. This is all you'll ever have to do with fronts. The key is which way is the wind blowing? And remember, warm air always goes up. All right, 9 is B and 10 is A. Anybody? Oh, okay, I actually did want to go over 9. A lot of people miss that. Guys, remember wind blows from high pressure to low pressure. So the Binghamton to Danbury, that's going this way. So going from a higher pressure of around 1,012 to the lower pressure near 1,000. Everybody else was going the opposite way. Like A was going Danbury to New York City. So that was going from near 1,000 to something less. Everybody else was going the wrong way. And greatest wind velocity in Poughkeepsie, just because the lines are closer together. That's how I knew. 11. How many people screwed that one up? Okay, there was a couple things to think about. So which way does wind always blow? High to low. So we know this is a high pressure here. This is a low pressure there. What kind of temperatures, warmer or colder, gives us high pressure? This is what you're missing. What temperatures, warm or cold, give us a high pressure? Show me high pressure on your desk right now. What do you do to put high pressure on your desk? Push down. So in other words, what kind of air pushes down, warm or cold? Cold air. This side has to be colder. This side has to be warmer. So right off the bat, we could just look at the temperatures. Land is 70, lake is 72. That can't be right. I need the water to be colder. Those two are wrong. 80 and 70, warmer, colder, okay? 70, 80, I can't have that one. And these two are the same, which you could have taken as a hint that the wind wouldn't blow. But if you were stuck there, we do have to think, okay, when will the land be warmer? Will it be at 2 a.m. or 6 a.m.? 2 p.m. 2 p.m. the land will be warmer. So it is during the day. And that is, let me show you my answer key. To do this, I had to do what I just walked through. This is not something that just pops in out of your head. You have to be able to work through these types of questions. Figure out which side's high, which side's low. Why is it high? Why is it low? And then what happens after that? Please, Nick, get off your phone. All right. 12 should be D and 13 C. Questions on either one of those? Biggest mistake people made here was, oh, not this one, never mind. So why does Utica have the greatest chance of precipitation? This one's Utica. Most of you put because it's 100% cloudy, and I did accept that. But the best answer is because the temperature and the dew point are the closest. What? Is that what you're gonna say, Sean? Yeah, that's what you need to remember, because sometimes there'll be two 100% cloudy ones. But the one that's got the greatest chance of rain is the one with the temperature and the dew point the closest. Now, the biggest mistake people made for this one, what's the actual air pressure at Niagara Falls, is they didn't pick Niagara Falls. This one is Niagara Falls. A whole bunch of you wrote down the pressure at Utica. Maybe because the last question was about Utica, but you got it. That's how they're gonna mess with you. So it is 201. By the way, I did not accept 201. when they say, what is the pressure, you have to unabbreviate it. So put that 9 or the 10. Now it starts with a 2, so it gets the bigger number 10. A bunch of you did this too. Don't forget you have to include the decimal point. So if you left off the decimal point, I couldn't give you credit either. All right, for the rest of these, the X. So this MT, this is the only MT on the entire map. Which way is this MT going? Which is not the question, by the way. That's my new question. Which way is this air mass flowing? Not southeast. I'll accept up for right now. How'd you know up? The circles. Guys, remember this warm front, which is the beginning of this air mass, is pointing this way. So you had to put an X to where it came from. So if it's going that way, read those arrows backwards. They all point either here in the Atlantic Ocean I accepted, or here in the Gulf of Mexico. I did see a bunch of people put it over here, which yes, is a place a MT would come from, but not this one. This one is going that way, so you have to reverse it, and it comes back down this way. Which one, why is there what evidence is on here that shows there's strong winds? I was really just looking for that the lines were close together. It was that simple. I did accept the fact that Pierre and Miles City had relatively high wind speeds, so 20 and 30 knots means it's pretty windy. And around which way do the winds blow? They blow from the, or sorry, in this case, they are going counterclockwise, up and in. Sure, if you had counterclockwise, that was great, done. But if you put counterclockwise and out or down, I didn't give you credit. If you put more than one answer and one of them is wrong, the whole question's wrong. Question so far. This one, people did great with this one. So unabbreviated. Again, you had to include the decimal point. This one, 2-letter air mass that originated over the Gulf of Mexico. So down here, that's going to be marine and tropical, so MT. And Station C has a dot. Where the heck is Station C? Station C has a dot, so that's rain. Guys, be careful. Rain showers is not the same as rain. So if you had put rain showers there, I couldn't give you credit. Was this one also confusing? Yeah. A lot of people lost some points here. It's quite simple. Some of the things that were said kind of made me shake my head. But why is A have a lower relative humidity than B? Not because a cold front went through. If a cold front went through, what would that tell you about A and B? Cold fronts. What are the only thing they tell you about? Yeah, that the temperature is cold. So if this question said, why is A colder than B? Because a cold front went through, but that's not what the question asked about. They asked about relative humidity. So there are a couple of answers. The easiest answer is A has no clouds. B is cloudy. Clouds tell you it's more humid. So that was the answer that I thought we would notice right away. Another answer could be A was in a cold, dry air mass. A was in a CP. So not just the cold part, but you needed to include the C part. While B was in an MT, so a maritime, that's more humid. It's about all I accepted were those two. And then, oh guys, you guys really missed the ball on 23. Why is C colder than D? Hey, where is D? Where? It actually, you can see it on the map. Florida. I don't know exactly where C is, but I see that C is more north of Florida. That was really the black and white truth there. C is more north than D. I absolutely did not accept that C is higher up than D. Higher means up, not north. They are very different words. Higher up, we can't tell the elevation of these two locations from the map. We can always only tell the latitude. Now, 24 confused a bunch of people, and I was very lenient, and I should have only accepted east, by the way, or northeast. So those of you who put southeast, I should not have accepted it, but I was feeling a little generous. State the compass direction that the center of the low pressure system will move over the next few days as it follows its normal track. We talked about how weather moves in the United States. Weather always blows from the west to the east. So this whole situation will move to the east or the northeast over the next few days. So the real answer should have only been east. Those of you who put counterclockwise, yeah, you're right. It's going to go counterclockwise, but it said compass direction. This one, the graph, the only thing I looked for on the graph and the biggest mistake is 45 north is here between 50 and 40. Not over here after the 40 in between the 30. That was tricky because normally it goes 40, 50 this way, but not on this because it was the latitude. Then almost everybody got the rest right. As latitude increases, thunderstorms decrease. So your graph should have looked like this, by the way. And as you got closer to zero, either way, there were more thunderstorms. I have never taught you anything about tornadoes. I've never taught you anything about hurricanes. I've never taught you anything about blizzards or floods or tsunamis. Every year there will be one question about one of those. What to do if there's a tornado? What to do if there's a hurricane or an earthquake or a blizzard? They always have one. And guys, I am counting on some prior knowledge, common sense stuff. Basement is a great option for a tornado. Interior room is a great option. Go under a table. But if this was about an earthquake, which is an option, don't go in the basement. Okay, because then your whole house is gonna fall on you. Yeah.
26 and 27 marked it wrong. But I think, because I should have had 26 right, but I wrote the answer for 26, I mean, 27,
Yeah.
I got mixed up.
Yeah, I know, and then he didn't answer one. I'll give you credit, but don't do that on the region.
No,
If you do that on the regions, there's no
Yeah.
leniency
yeah, no,
at
I
all.
understand.
Okay. I guess I'll feel soft for you today. So, but for these natural events, yes, just use common sense, don't overthink them, like getting ready for a blizzard, get supplies, things like that. What? That's fine, Google would have been a good answer too. We'll cover, so by the way, this is me covering what to do in tornadoes. Tornado, go in a basement, go in a storm shelter, under a table, away from windows. Door frames are good options if you have literally no other choice. If we had one here in school, we'd go in the hallways instead of the classrooms. Or actually my storage closet would be a good place because there's no windows, no nothing in there. What would you do for earthquakes? What do you think you should do to get ready for an earthquake? What? Jump as high as possible so you don't feel the shaking? Yeah, what about, so if I jump as high as possible in this classroom, all this stuff's still gonna fall on me. Yeah, go ahead, McKenna. Yeah, so you're gonna want an open space. What else are you thinking, Zach?
Jump through the ceiling.
Jump through the ceiling. I ain't got those skills, bruh. So if you can jump through the ceiling, earthquakes, you're going to want to, get away from things that could fall. So one thing that they recommend doing is securing objects to the wall. So like this isn't just a freestanding cabinet, it's attached to the wall. Like big dressers in California, like around here, we very rarely secure our dressers to the wall. Because unless you're climbing up them, they're probably staying where they are. In California, it's like a given that they are just attached to the wall. They have these little like, almost like belts that you attach to the wall and to the dresser, so that if they are shaking, they'll stay with the wall at least. Now, yes, if the wall comes down, you're screwed, but you probably were anyway in that case. So it's common practice in California that everything is attached to the wall. Blizzards, I think we know how to get ready for blizzards. Make sure you have some food, some water, some shelter, blankets, snow shovels, things like that. What you do to get rid, like one thing that's a wrong answer. Like if you are in the middle of an earthquake, you can evacuate. So don't put that as an answer. But if you have a hurricane, you can evacuate because you do have some time to get ready for them. So these are always almost like give me answers, as long as you answer the question they're asking. So like with an earthquake, sometimes they say, what do you do in the middle of an earthquake? And then sometimes they ask you, what do you do for future earthquakes? So hopefully that'll clear up some issues. And finally, on the back, oh, guys. So those of you who left 54 blank because they didn't tell you the dew point, you missed the whole point of the question. So they asked, they did tell you in the reading. So it did say, place the following information on the correct positions on the weather station model provided below. And dew point was one of them. How did I know the dew point was the same as the temperature from this information? Yeah. Yeah, if we have fog, it means that water's coming out of the air because the temperature and the dew point are the same. Okay, I did not plan on that taking the whole period, so we do still have a little bit of notes to do. If you guys could grab the current packet we're in. And, oh shoot, we still have to go over homework. Well, I guess we're not getting much done today. That's okay, great, yeah. For the record, I won't be here on Monday. I would like you guys to, bring your computers and something to like headphones or AirPods, or I guess your phone will even work. I think what I'm going to do, especially since I just wasted a whole period, is post one of my old videos from like last year and have you watch that one. It's either that or you're gonna have to just like do questions the whole period. I think doing just a regular day, even if it's a video. So I'm gonna post one of my previous year's videos for the rest of the notes here. Okay, that's that. Homework. Scientists are concerned about the decrease of ozone in the upper atmosphere because ozone protects life on Earth from absorbing which one of these, you think? Do you guys know which one ozone protects us from? Okay, I didn't mention that. You guys did great. It is ultraviolet light. The ozone protects us from UV light. It helps us to get not as bad of a sunburn. So the less amount of ozone there is in the atmosphere, the more sunburn we're gonna get. Electromagnetic, which one has the shortest wavelength? What we got? Yeah, show me your fingers, guys. I see a few of you answering me. The absolute shortest is going to be gamma. Let me remind you of why. As we go to the left, we decrease. As we go to the right, we are going to increase those. So radio waves are the biggest, gamma are the shortest. So that is answer 2 there. Which one of these has the longest waves then? Out of these 4, radio, visible, infrared, and X-ray, what do you got? Yeah, that one's going to be radio waves. Answer number 1. This shows, okay, it tells you what this graph is. It shows the types of electromagnetic energy given off by the sun. The shaded part of the diagram shows approximately the amount of each type actually reaching Earth's surface. So we can see that no gamma rays get here, no X-rays, no radio waves. tiny little bit of ultraviolet, tiny bit of infrared, and a decent amount of visible. So going through these, which one? It's not A, they don't all reach it. It's not 2, gamma and X-rays make up the greatest, they don't. Visible light makes up the greatest amount of electromagnetic energy reaching Earth's surface, absolutely. And what is the difference between ultraviolet and infrared? That's only the wavelength, and you did not have to do question 6. Yeah, I don't think there's a point in keeping to continuing on here. What's up, Sean? What?